Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Rashai, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Rashai, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Howell, Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Chakudash, the belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim, to Sadakim, that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shaman. This week's topic is going to be entitled um, Agents, Agents, Agents. Let's do that. Inspired by a picture of this Elder Yashua, but he sent me this picture. I'm sure brother sent it to him, but this is a conversation or a comment left by Pops Crafts 88, which again, that could be an agent. And it was left on Chief Ephraim 144's page, who's also, guess what? An agent, right? CIA. Um, and they're pretty much um, antagonizing what's going on between the state of Israel and Palestine by trying to involve the Hebrew Israelites in there, telling them, we should get guns. And first of all, that shit has nothing to do with us in a sense that those two heathens fighting over our land, let them two heathens duke it out. Um, that has nothing to do with us. And we're a spiritual group. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. We are a spiritual group. All right, we don't take carnal stuff in our hands. But let's read this comment, right? Pardon me, fellas. Pardon me, brothers. All right, so the comment reads: Somebody needs to pick me up in Macon or Macon, not Macon. I'll bring the IWITS 12 and we'll get some SDR straightening. This was then responded to by Leopard Funk, and he writes, message Wi-Fi, which I believe is an Israelite group, ATL. They got people near Macon. Can you get to Sparta? Meanwhile, this is all being put out on the internet. Now, what is it? IWITS 12. Well, let's scroll to the right, and boom. Okay, some sort of weapon, right? Some sort of gun, a tactical gun. And again, you see that these guys are agents. And more recently, we had the dude from Iran. Coincidentally enough, we had an Arab looking dude that calls himself a teacher, putting out pictures, shooting in the range. Coincidence? I think not. Now, this is the book of Romans 8 and 7. Salakia. Romans 8 and 7. It says, because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High. And they're trying to make this thing carnal, right? Taking swords against this situation, trying to bear arms or what have you. And we're not in that time. We're simply not in that time. This is a different time. Right now, our job is simple. Just to go out there and teach, teach, teach. That's it, because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So if these men were spiritual, they would use the scriptures, they would use the wisdom, they would use armors and weapons of light, which are the scriptures, which tells us to be of the Heavenly Father's Son, Yahweh told us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. If there's any man in this Israelite thing of ours and call themselves knowing these scriptures talking about we should get guns and shit like that, that's red flags, man. All right, that's red flags, because at the end of the day, we're not gonna take this man down with guns. We're not gonna get delivered by guns. All right, Yahweh Shai is coming to do deliverance. That's it. It's simple, and if you're a man of faith, you know that Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, pursuant to the book of Psalms 34 and 7, has angel protecting his men. Okay? So we don't need that. You do not need that for salvation. You do not need weapons for salvation. All right? If a man has a firearm that is not unlawful, that's his personal decision. But we don't advocate you put that out there on the internet or share that with anybody. That's your personal business. Okay? 2 Corinthians 10 and 4 reads, for the weapons of our warfare, right, are not carnal. So we are at war, but this is a spiritual battle, man. All right, we're not gonna overcome the spiritual battle by shooting it out and shit like the Wild Wild West. You know, we take 12 steps in one direction, turn around and shoot. It's not gonna go that way. First of all, what's gonna happen? You guys are gonna take guns. Let's play this out. You guys are gonna take guns, get in a shootout, kill someone, or possibly get yourself killed in due time. What is the productivity in that? How did that further the truth? It didn't. But mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. And again, this guy is a CIA plant. All right. We don't, and that's the thing too. When you on the internet, you don't know who's who. You don't know what's what. People could put up pictures, say they're this person, that person, and infiltrate. Hey man, that's why the apostle told us years ago, man, to get off social media. I remember that order was put out when I was in college. So that was some 2011-ish, 2010. And so they sort of they had the foresight to see that, look, we're gonna come in a time when um they're gonna be scanning your social media. All right. I'll tell you what, in my job in the world, all right, dealing with insurance, sometimes, the insurance company will question if a person truly needs insurance. And guess what? The insurance company, they hire private investigators. And the private investigators watch and check your social media. So the social media is something that they use to check and watch and monitor you. Okay? Why you think they created the whole selfie thing? Selfie is just so they could do facial recognition. So you people are not, y'all on a low level, man. Y'all not even thinking really how this man gets down because y'all not spiritual. Okay? Verse 5 says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh. So my whole thing is we just teach the word, man. We just teach the word. And I'll say one more thing too about firearms and why I wouldn't say to have one. Because firearms, if there's a situation that gets escalated and emotions are through the roof, you would do something that's life-changing if you had a firearm as opposed to you didn't. Now, just recently in the news, you had a guy in Brooklyn. He got in a confrontational argument with the man above him because the noise was too loud. Things escalated. The dude got some scissors, put scissors in his face. The guy pulled out a gun, shot the dude, and shot his son. Now, I'm sure in the heat of the moment, that dude was, his emotions was flared up. He was probably trying to protect himself in combination with the anger, led him to shoot those two men. But you know what? When his head is cooled, he's going to regret that decision. When he gets hit with life, he's going to regret that decision. He might even off himself with that firearm. And that's what I'm saying. If you didn't have that, things could de-escalate. You could walk off, But when you have firearms and you have a heightened sense of emotions, people tend to do things that they regret, I had a family member in the world, he used to collect guns. And his emotions got flared up. And he shot his wife and himself. Now, he passed away, but the wife lived. Now, what if he didn't have that firearm? You see? So, that shit, you don't need that, man. All you need is the faith and a sound mind in the Lord. That's it. Romans 13:12. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Now, this is called talking about our salvation. Okay? It's no longer nighttime. It's daytime. So we can't be asleep. Got to be awake, right? Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. The armor of light. So the armory that we're putting on is not guns and strapping up and bulletproof vests and none of that shit. It's the armor of light. Armor of light, man. Let's go into that. 1 Thessalonians 5:8 reads, But let us who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and of a helmet, the hope of salvation. So the armor of light, you see right here, is faith, it's love, agape, hope towards salvation. These are the things that you should be arming and cladding yourself with. Turning in tune with the scriptures, making sure you're doing your lessons, staying in tune with the prophecies, being brotherly. Make sure you pay your tithes, your offerings, okay? Praying for forgiveness, praying for the Lord's mercy, praying for the Most High to guide your steps correctly, keep you of a sound mind, keep you in the truth. Those are the things you should be loading up, all right? Not no goddamn guns and what's the latest gun and let's go to war with this people. If you hear somebody saying that, that's a motherfucking agent, man. You have things called agent provocateurs, which guess what? Agent provocateurs are people that the CIA or work for the government, all right, that try to start up violence, start up um uproars or what have you, all right, to then use that as his reason to come at a group or change a law or implement a law, all right? The CIA is known for that. ISIS, moderate rebels, Antifa, it's all the same shit, just with a different veil over it. It's all the same thing. Agent provocateurs rouse people up, create chaos, and then let's give our solution. Hamas no different. Okay? Because you don't know who's infiltrated, all right? Chief Ephraim no different. Satan's using the same trick, man, just a different face. And if you have the spiritual eye to see it, you see right through this bullshit, man. That's why we don't click up with all these fucking groups, man. You can't just click up with every Israelite because you got to know where they stand on everything. Amos 3 and 3. You got to know where they stand on everything and who they ally themselves with, man. You see? That's why, again, the apostles raised us right. They told us don't watch every fucking group, man. Don't watch every group. Stick with your stick with those you know. That's it. Stick with Great Millstone, man. That's it. Stick with what you. That's it. Simple. Because you don't know every single thing that these groups align with. All right. What's their stance on this? What's their stance on that? Even if they're giving double honors to the apostles, sometimes you still have to have that eye because close to a year ago, a few months back, you had them guys that was giving double honors to the apostles, but they was saying Apostle Tahar is Moses, and they was going into some other shit, man. They was heavy on that reincarnation shit, and you should marry the ugly wife and only fuck a baddie. It was just going off. But they had the garment. They were saying double honors. So that's what I'm saying. If it's not an official Great Millstone, best bet don't even fuck with it. That way you know you're not hearing different shit. You know? There's Asians everywhere, man. And look, apostles tell us, and that's why we're not surprised if it is possible. Okay, there gotta be guys trying to infiltrate us. Our camp. Didn't you hear? Nate said one of the dudes that fell out with Nate was talking about going up to another camp. I think the ISU IPK wearing a wire. So you can have guys fucking around us wearing wires. But guess what? You ain't gonna find shit out. Why? Because on or off camera, all we do is we just get into the scriptures. Brothers might have a little downtime. We link up a little bit. But at the same time, if we're brotherly, we keep it like a business, man. We don't have to get too personal in anybody's information or nothing like that, man. We link up, we do shows, we chill a little bit, that's it. So that wouldn't surprise us, man. Guys fucking around us with the wires. And this ain't no old school wires. Like a fucking wire. When I say wire, you can see a cable and shit. Some dude in the mafia that was saying they got shit now that's the way it's embedded in your clothes and all that. You'll never know. You'll never fucking know. You see? That's why the scriptures talk about walking circumspect, man, and not inviting every man into your house. You brothers have to have a vetting process, man. A guy can't just come around you blabbing every fucking thing to him, man. It says, Ephesians 6 and 17, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit. That's the sword and the weapon we're dealing with, the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. Not no goddamn IWITS 12, man. I never heard no shit like that, but still, none of that. Okay? The word of the Most High. All right? Let's read about the word of the Most High. This is Hebrews 4 and 12. This is classic go-to scriptures when you're dealing with certain topics like this. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. And when we put together lessons and bring out these scriptures, right, those videos get taken down when you go exposing these devils. But if you put up a video with guns in a gun range, they're going to keep that up. They're like, all right, we got this stupid nigga on file. Why they not taking that down? Because they didn't cut them. But when we go into these truths, when we go into exposing who the real Jews are, for example, who the devil is, the so-called white man, Esau Edom. All right? What's really going on over there in the Middle East, that's what gets your channel striked and banned, man. But if you do a video telling guys to get guns and go out and shoot people in it, guess what? That ain't gonna get banned. The algorithm is gonna boost that and give it views because Esau's the one that controls these things, man. Them algorithms are trying to, if they see you popping up some shit that's gonna make us go off, they're gonna boost that to the top. Because they want our people to go off. But at the end of the day, the elect will not be deceived, man. Right? The elect is not gonna get caught up by any false teachers and shit like that, man. The elect of the Lord is already sealed. They're already gonna be on point. Book of Isaiah 49 and 2 reads, and he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. Actually, let me start at 1. Isaiah 49 and 1. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken ye people from far. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua hath called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name. So this just like Jeremiah, Isaiah, and Paul, several scriptures let you know that men of the Lord are called from the womb. All right, what does that mean? The Most High spoke to the Spirit before it even got into the flesh that you're going to be a prophet. That's why the scripture says the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. All right, so the fact that we're doing this, teaching this word, it was already ordained. We already did it. This is nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. Once a prophet, always a prophet. Once a man of the Lord, you will always be a man of the Lord. That's your lot. That's your line. You can't choose to do it or choose not to do it. All right. So that's a cut against some guys out there in Mississippi talking about there's free will. There is no free will. All right. We're predestined to do whatever the Most High has made us to do. Okay. And thankfully, through the grace and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, we're blessed to be teaching the word, and Lord willing, we endure in doing so. All right. It says, and he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver hath he hid me. So a man of the Lord is compared to a weapon. Why? Because the words that he speaks, the words of the Lord is like a hammer. The words of the Lord is like a sword. The faith is like shield, armor, helmet. We're like a quiver. Look, man, you see it? It's all spiritual. All right? It's all spiritual. Verse 3, and said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. See, so Israel, we as a people of the Most High's battle axe, we're the ones, his weapons of war. All right? When the time comes and the Lord really said, okay, it's time to get physical, trust, we're not going to need no gun like that. All right? I'm talking about when we get true spiritual power from the Most High. So beware of these agents. All right? Brothers, be circumspect of everyone around you. All right? And you also got to examine yourself because we're our own biggest enemy. And as you can see, to obtain this crown, that we all striving for, it's not gonna be easy, and there's gonna come many hindrance, many situations to try to lump us up and group us up with some bullshit. But we have to be circumspect and just really walk through the spirit. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'Hashem Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.